Okay, welcome back. I'm sorry about the break. So like I was saying, whatever it is that you're going to be offering, whatever service you're going to be offering, it has to be convenient, okay? If it creates any sort of inconvenience for your clients and for your customers, especially in this digital age, if people are so impatient that anything that's going to cost them any kind of inconvenience, they don't want it. So you have to make sure that as you are choosing and positioning your niche, that is very convenient, okay? You have to make sure that the service, the product, whatever it is you're offering is very convenient. Then another thing you want to make sure it is that it has to be very competitive. If somebody else does it better than you, the tendency for them to go to the person who does it better than you is very high. So you want to also make sure that as you're choosing to carve a niche, to position your niche and to sell to that market, that your product has all of these features, that your product or your service has all of these features in that niche, okay? It should be convenient. It should be competitive. So that's why the research still comes in. Like I keep saying, some of us, and I think I'm also guilty of that. I mean, we just all have to keep improving, and making our game a lot better. I found out that there are a couple of platforms that are even doing similar things, a couple of people who are doing similar things that I'm doing that I never even know. Of course, it's not possible for you to know all your competitors. I know that, but it's important for you to know the guys who are acing the game in that industry so that you are either trying to get better than those guys or you're trying to live up to them so that you can even compete fairly, right? So, but basically the point is be convenient, be competitive, make sure that whatever it is you're offering, there's something about your service or your offering that makes you better than the other guys who are within the space. Then pricing is also another important thing. Now, pricing can be a bit complicated, right? Because for pricing, it just depends on the demographic. It just depends on the target market or the marketplace that you're in. Because for pricing, some people will not even buy when it's too cheap. For example, this how do I say it? This training that we're organizing, even though I say it's a troubleshoot version of the training that we're organizing, the fact that it is free some people would not even subscribe to it. So the fact that it has a price tag on it that is even too cheap, some people will still not buy it because they would assume that the quality may not even be good. So some people have a strategic way of even pricing their stuff. So you can even price something that may not even have as much value for a lot higher, and people will buy it. I mean, it just depends. It depends on how you package it. It depends on the value that you provided. This same content, and I mix no words about it. Of course, you all know. I don't even have to. I mean, in all humility, I don't have to brag about it. This same training that you're consuming right now, I can package it and sell it for over 100K, sell it for even more than that. And there will be people who will buy. Probably the only thing you can tell me is that I may not have as more people as I have here, but who says I can actually? It depends on how I go about marketing, the service. So, but basically the point I'm trying to make is that you have to do a little bit of some research about your pricing. Make sure that the pricing is right for the value that you give it. You also want to check your other competitors and find out the guys who are doing similar thing that you're doing, how much they're charging. These days, there are so many platforms to learn most of the things that we're saying here. There's Udemy. There's quite a lot of them on the internet where you can learn most of these skills or this entrepreneurship stuff that we're sharing, right? We also sometimes will need to check to find out what those guys are offering. But again, one of the things that differentiates, which is one of the areas we're going to look at, one of the things that differentiates me or differentiates us from them is that the content that we're providing are local based, because most of those contents that you take on Udemy and all of these online platforms are global business trainings that sometimes may not even be relative with our local environment. So we still know the difference in what we offer to what is being offered there. Okay, so I've mentioned convenience, I've mentioned competition, I've mentioned pricing. Okay, so you want to be sure what your competitors are selling and also check to see what sort of value you're offering and make sure that you price appropriately so you don't underprice and you don't overprice as well. Then number four is quality. You want to be sure what level of quality you're offering as compared to what is currently available in the market. That way you are able to know how to position yourself and let your clients know what sort of quality that they get, from subscribing to whatever it is you're selling, whether it is service or product. And finally, I think I in between mentioned the differentiation. So what differentiates you? And like I said, for the majority of the courses that you find that looks like what we're offering here, some of them might not be curated for the local market. Some of the instructors might be people who don't even know that a Nigerian young 25-year-old somewhere is listening to this content. And so he might never make any kind of reference that might be unique to your pain points, right? But what we have here, we understand the environment that you're in. We understand how the Nigerian business or service market is, and we can speak specifically to those needs that you would have, within your local environment. So that's one differentiation that I think we have. Another differentiation, of course, like I said, is with pricing. It's really affordable. Then I think the last differentiation is that in most of the online trainings that you get, you hardly find that one-on-one coaching or one-on-one consulting sort of thing. And I think that that's something that you guys who are even the inaugural badge of this training would enjoy. I mean, it will not always be there. I mean, I won't be always available. Of course, we're going to have like a faculty of other trainers who are going to be training or providing like a Q&A session sort of thing, but we will not always have it. So now that you have it, I would want to encourage as many of you to take advantage of it, basically. So I think that with that said, this is pretty much all there is to share. Let me see if we have. Okay, I think I have one or two more slides. So let's look at what an example of a niche would look like. I think in the course of the last class, I mentioned it. I talked about how it is important that even within the niche market, that you're still able to carve out unique products within that niche. So as much as a niche is a specific portion of the market, which you already know, right? It is important that within that niche, you're able to carve out specific products. Okay, so let's say, for example, I think I have a couple of fashion designers who are on this training who say that they offer, in fact, I think that some of you who are fashion designers, a few of you have spoken with, you are making this mistake. I understand that in the very beginning, you might not get clarity, and it's okay. Most people start out without having all the clarity that they need. But my recommendation to a few of you that I've spoken to on a personal note is that even in that clothing line, even in that fashion business, it would make sense and it would be highly recommended that you focus on a particular area that anybody who's thinking about that particular sort of clothing will come to you. For example, the last lady I spoke to said she sews everything. Like she sews for men, she sews for women, she sews for children, she sews for... That's okay in the beginning. But as you continue to grow that business, it makes sense to read. I think I also cited an example of a lady tailor who sews only for lawyers, for example. So it means that if you need any kind of attire that is white and black for lawyers, just go there. She has done that thing so many times that she knows what sort of pattern, what sort of how the lines should fall, all those details for lawyers. So any lawyer who wants to make the, how do I say it now, the most, apt sort of styling as a lawyer would go to that kind of person, for example. Then there might be also some fashion designer who will say, oh, I just make simple dresses for plus size women. I want to sew for women who are plus size, people who are bigger than normal. Now, if you have plus size women, there's a way that they are a little thicker than others. There's a way that their shape, I know that of course the women will have different sort of shape, no matter even if they're big, but anyone who sews specifically for plus size women will know a common thing that is a common denominator for most plus size women. And that way, other plus size women will feel more comfortable to go to her than to go to somebody else or to go to other tailors who might have difficulty trying to fit for plus size women. So if you look at this picture that I presented here, you see that everything here looks uniform. but there's one color that stands out. So it means that it might be that they're even sewing for children. I mean, let's say this mannequins here are for children, right? But you can see that there's one that is different. So it means that maybe that particular one that is different is saying that particular sort of cloth may be for athletes, or maybe sports wears for children, that sort of thing. So even as a fashion designer, even when you sew for women, for children, there might still be like another small segments that you still meet within that market. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. And I think I've overflogged it, and I hope that you understand that. Okay. So before I close, let's look at a few challenges that you can have when you're positioning your niche, because I mean, everything that has an advantage has a disadvantage, right? So the challenges that you might have when you are positioning your niche is the fact that you might have limited customer base, which is totally fine. Like I said, we can't serve the whole markets. If you have consistent flow of a particular segment of the market, even if it is just, say, probably 10 or 20 consistent customers who come to you, sometimes it might just be enough, and it might make the business sustainable enough. So yeah, there might be limited customer base, and especially if you're someone who wants to have a huge customer base, bringing down your niche may not be the best option. But again, you want to review that to be sure you know what works for you. Then the second disadvantage, or the second challenge, is the fact that there's a reliance on a particular market segment. So it means that if anything happens to that particular market segment, it might affect your business. So that's a challenge. So that's the reason I keep saying that innovating, rethinking, within that market space is the way to go, because anything can happen within that market space. We never know what can happen. So if that's the niche market you have and you're solely reliant on that market, that can be a challenge. And then lastly, there's a potential difficulty in expanding that market. So if, for example, you're in that niche market and you're deciding that you want to expand to other markets, you might face certain challenges. But again, it depends on what industry, but these are some of the potential challenges that you might have if you are positioning your niche, basically. So I think basically this is all that there is to know, but it is highly recommended. It is highly, highly recommended that as freelancers, as small businesses that are starting out, it makes a lot of sense that you carry out some research to identify some undeserved markets and create solutions for those pain points, or for those sets of people who have those pain points, okay? So this way you are able to reduce competition in the marketplace and ensure customer retention and a sustained business, okay? But of course, whilst in the market, like I said, do not stop innovating and continue to see how you can consistently satisfy, your customer base. So I urge you, all of you who are embarking on this freelance journey, to spend some time to reflect, do some research, okay? Find some unique niche within your market. Most of you already know what you want to do. And that's why I'm still giving you the opportunity to interact with me, to call me, to WhatsApp me. If you want me to brainstorm with you, to have clarity about what it is you're doing. Sometimes you might know what you want to do, but it just does not come clear to your mind. You just need to be able to engage or interact with somebody to be able to get clarity. And I think I've been doing that in the past 2 weeks with most of you who are participating in this training. You're calling me and I'm helping you. Some of you, as basic as even finding the name of the business that you want to use, you might need some help and some guidance. And I'm available. And like I said, I'm not always going to be available. This is just the initial opportunities that we all have. Subsequently, of course, it will not be available. So take advantage of it, whilst we have. So this is the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask. But I think that this module for today is pretty much self-explanatory. It's just, even for me, I feel like it's just helping you get even more clarity about the things that you should be spending your time on. But if you have any questions, you can indicate, you can raise your hand. I will see you, I would identify you, and I'll be able to respond to them. So anybody who's here who wants to say something, please let me know. After this session, I will send you the quiz for this particular module, and then you do it tomorrow. There'll be no class tomorrow. As you know, we do one class today, and then the next day we do the quiz. So if you have any questions, please indicate by raise of hand. And I'll be here to answer. We can take one or two. We can take one or two or three. Anyone wants to say something, please go ahead. And don't always be shy to be the first person. There's nothing wrong in being the first person. For the fact that you're the first person means you're the leader, right? Or it means you're a leader. So don't be afraid to be the first person to speak. If you have any questions, please indicate. Paul, I see you're here today. Does anyone want to say something? Confirm if you can hear me, or this one, I'm not hearing anybody say anything today. Okay, please go ahead.
Good evening. No, I hear you. It's well understood. Just that we'll watch the video again, and if there's anything we are not clear, we'll just let you know. That's my own.
Okay, that's fine. You haven't chatted with me for a few days now. I hope you're doing well. Have you started promotions yet?
Not yet, but I'll start. I'm still trying to follow. Or rather, I'm a little busy.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. When you start, let me know.
I've created my WhatsApp and group and added Elizabeth.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, let's hear Paul. Paul, I see your hand up. Peter.
To wash your hand now.
Peter, please go ahead.
My mentor, good evening, and good evening, everyone. Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah, just wanted to ask. Okay, we've created WhatsApp groups, and of course, in a case where somebody registered, and of course he refused to he refused to like come back and tell you that he registered. How do you get to know? That's one. Then two, concerning the quiz. Now, in a case where somebody missed like 2 or 3 quiz, I hope it's not going to affect the person's performance in the group, especially for the challenge and all that.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you for those questions. So if the person registers and the person does not come back to you to tell you that they've registered, it will reflect in the form. And that's the reason why that form was so detailed. If you filled it, you will see that there is a place where it's indicated that you should mention the person who told you, who referred you. So we would see it. Yeah, we would see it and we will contact you. But again, I mentioned to you that there's a unique code. That form that you filled is just the registration process. There's a unique code or unique link that we're meant to give to you that would automatically reflect on anyone who uses that link to register. But in the meantime, we're using this Google form. You recommended it, actually. I'm sure you were the one who recommended it.
Yeah.
So we're using it temporarily to register. In fact, not like temporarily, we're going to continue to use it. So we will use it and we will still use the unique link that you would use to give to the people who register.
So currently I have like 3 people that call my attention that they have registered. Is it 4? Between 3 and 5. Yeah.
Okay, I would check.
You know, I like displaying my foolishness privately. So I'm going to chat you privately. Please.
Display your foolishness. Okay.
Yes. I like
okay, that's
fine. You know, I'm more comfortable with you in private, you know. So
no problem. But I will check in the back end anyway. I'm checking the back end. As soon as I see those ones reflecting and your name is mentioned, I will definitely let you know. But one thing you must be rest assured is the process is transparent, and you'll be able to see that everyone who is recommended by you is reflected with your name on it. But again, But again, it's your duty to make sure that as you are referring the people, you make it you sound it very evident in their ears that they should mention your name many times.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So who else is there? Anybody else want to say something? Rita White. I'm just seeing that name for the first time. I haven't seen you here before. Rita White is here. Maria Ahmed Baba. I haven't seen you two here before. Veronica, what's going on? How are you doing? Have you set up your group? Veronica. Yeah, Ivitonia, you still want to say something? Ivitonia, do you want to say something? I see your hand still up.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
For some days now, I'm so busy. I just come to the group. I saw everything that has all the quiz and all the things they told us to do. I'm trying to know how to start my own.
Okay.
Send me a message this evening that what is happening, that I'm no longer active.
Yeah, so try to be active and let me know if you need any help, okay? If there's any area where you need help, let me know.
Okay, like the group we are to create, or the people that will add to the group, how are we going to do it? Is there, I will still go to see if the direction.
Just listen to all the presentation that you've missed. So we did an onboarding training on, I think on Friday. Is attached to the form. Is I think about an hour. Just spend some time as you're cooking, as you are taking care of your child. Just be listening to it so that you know exactly what you're expected to do, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Is anybody else there wants to say something before we go? The time is fast spent.
Excuse me, sorry, ma'am. About the assistant at the school thing, the nursing school program. Any update on it yet?
Yeah, registration is still going on. 30th September is when school starts. So a month or 2 or weeks before classes, you'll be notified as to what to do. I think that what you're supposed to do was to make the first installment payment upon resumption, okay? And then 2-3 months into class, you pay the balance like that. So updates will be sent to you via email. You'll be told what you need to do at different times.
Okay.
Okay, I think this is the much we can take today. Nabil, who's Nabil? Nabil, what do you want to say?
Good evening, ma. Sorry,
good evening,
I
Nabil.
missed the class, honestly, due to network challenge. But I'm just asking, since I noticed that the meeting has been recorded, are we going to have a record of it so that, like the way you said for the previous one, she can take her time to listen to it and know what is required? So even this one too, are we going to have a record of it so that we'll go through it at our own convenient time and get to know what has been discussed in this class? That's my question, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine. But how many classes have you missed, Nabil? How many classes have you missed, Nabil?
Honestly, I missed almost all the classes because my phone was spoiled. So I'm in Jigawa.
Okay, no problem.
Yes.
We will send you the link for this class because we usually upload them on YouTube and we send it. When we send it to you, it will take you to the link for all the other classes on YouTube so you can watch it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you very much. This is the much that we can take. Tomorrow I would send, or later tonight or tomorrow, I will send the quiz. Veronica, do you want to say something? Veronica. Okay. So I will send the quiz into the group tonight or tomorrow. You will do the quiz and submit it as usual. Then on Wednesday, we will continue with the class. I think we're almost 50% done into this class now. I know that it can be really tasking and overwhelming. Not everyone can be here at the same time, but that's like Nabil said, that's the essence for the recorded session. So people can listen and do their quiz and send it. So for so many of you who have a backlog of quiz, please do your quiz and send it. If you need any support, like I said, WhatsApp me. I will make time to be able to speak to you. So thank you very much. I appreciate your coming or your attendance
Thank you
for the
so
class
much,
today.
ma'am.
Yeah. So
God
thank you
bless
very much.
you.
God bless you too.
Good night, everyone.
All right. Good night, dear. So we'll see you on Wednesday. Okay.
Good night.
All right. Thank you so much.
By God's grace.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you too.